Now, on Tuesday, Ward Deputy Chairman Cassim Phiri was gunned down outside an ANC meeting in Kwadengezi in KwaZulu-Natal. In recent weeks, it seems there's been quite an upsurge in suspected political killings in that region. Now, whether the motive is pure criminality or political, assassinations are all too common in our country these days, it seems. Let's discuss this now with Forensic Investigator at Bizz Tracers Calvin Rafadi. Calvin, thank you so much for chatting to us. The killing of Cassim Phiri, it's such a tragic story, and it seems that it was a drive-by shooting. How do you go about establishing if it had the hallmarks of a professional hit? What do you look for?
Yes, thanks for inviting me, Sally. What we look for in terms of these political killings, we look at the method of assassination. So normally these people, these hitmen, they are hired to do a drive-by shooting or perhaps shoot somebody while sitting in the car or walking in the side of the pavement. But their modus operandi is to assassinate with bullet and multiple bullets. So indeed, they were hired hitmen. So in most incidents, they won't even kill somebody by just poisoning a person or using a person, but their modus operandi is to shoot a person from a distance and then come closer to close range and make sure that the person has died.
And is it possible to tell from the information we have around the killing of Cassim Phiri whether it was directed at him specifically or whether it could have been a message to people gathered outside that ANC meeting and they just shot randomly at one person to relay a message?
Well, these people, because they are hired, they know their target. Sometimes they are even sent photos of the particular person so that they don't make a wrong hit. So that was not just a random shooting like we've seen in the recent tavern shootings, but it was definitely directed to a specific person.
What we're hearing as well is that there have been more ANC members killed in that area, but also members of other political parties. Do you have any understanding why political killings would be ramping up now? Because typically we see that sort of killing in a run-up to a local government election when there's a dispute over who wants to stand for a ward, for example.
Yes, indeed, this type of actions... Hello?
Yes, you're still with us.
Sorry, Sally.
No problem.
Yes, I'm here. All right. What I'm saying is, especially towards the conflict of who gets to be the ward councillor or a mayor or some type of a political position, you see this type of killings. But what we want to expose, in essence, it's most of this type of killings, the guys, they get hired, the hitmen, they get hired, but the transaction is done through a prisoner. So basically what they do, they've got a particular group that is sitting at prison. They will send them whoever they want to kill and whoever they want to commit this type of crimes. And basically, those people in prison, they are sitting with cell phones. They are the ones who facilitate the hitmen. So in essence, you'll never see a fancy car of a politician or even a taxi owner driving in the hostels or in your Nongoma or the areas where normally you find this type of hitmen. But most of their operation is prison-driven. They send the pictures to a particular group in prison. And those particular groups, they are the ones who facilitate who should be killed and when.
And why do they do it through people who are sitting in prison? Is it because they have the time to organize the hit? Is it more difficult to trace? I'm not understanding why the link to prisons.
Yes, it's difficult to trace because the reason, again, why we're exposing this particular modus operandi, we've seen that even with the Moerani Commission, they didn't touch on this one. But I've done my due diligence and particular researches. And in other incidents, we've seen that the guys in prison, they are to be trusted to commit crime, to still commit crime outside. And they are sitting and smuggling cell phones into the prisons, and they are the ones who facilitate this type of crimes. Like recently, there's a new, a new crime that they are committing. They get first-hand information about politicians. And what they do, they call them from prison and extort money from them by way of, they will say, no, we are sitting with a report from the AG report, and I'm Colonel so-and-so or Captain so-and-so. And a lot of politicians get to be called and they are told about some of their scandals or projects that they are about to happen and they extort money from them. So the very same group, they are the ones also that facilitate this type of killings. So what I'm saying is they do get first-hand information from even politicians. So even when it comes to killing, they are the ones who facilitate. So it makes it difficult for the police also to trace.
Wow, that is fascinating. I thought you might tell me about taxi gangs, but instead you're telling me about what is going on, you believe, in our prisons and how the prison population is playing a part in actually potentially setting up these contract killings. Very interesting indeed. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Forensic Investigator at Bizz Tracers Calvin Rafadi there.